The night the police showed up at my house, I thought my life was over. My name is Nathan Cole, and at 19 years old, I was accused of getting my best friend pregnant. But that is not even the worst part. The worst part is who the real father turned out to be. I grew up in a small suburban town where everyone knew everyone. My dad was respected. He coached youth baseball, volunteered at church events, and was the kind of man neighbors trusted with spare house keys. I trusted him too. My best friend since sophomore year was Lily Harper. She was smart, funny, and came from a rough home. Her mom worked 2 jobs her dad had left when she was little. She practically lived at our house senior year because my parents made her feel welcome. At least that's what I thought. Lily and I were close, but never romantic. We studied together, watched movies, talked about college plans. People joked that we would end up together, but we both laughed it off. After graduation, we went to different community colleges but stayed in touch. That summer, she started acting distant, canceling plans, ignoring texts. I figured she was just stressed. Then one evening, my mom called me into the living room. Lily was sitting on the couch, pale and shaking. My dad stood beside her, unusually quiet. Lily looked at me with tears in her eyes and said, "I'm pregnant." The room started spinning. Before I could even process the word, she added, "It's his." She pointed at me. I remember laughing. Not because it was funny, because it was impossible. I started to say, but my dad cut me off. "Nathan," he said sharply, "is this true?" My own father was looking at me like I was a stranger. I denied it. Of course I denied it. I swore I had never slept with her. I begged her to tell the truth, but Lily kept crying and repeating the same story. That we had hooked up after a graduation party. That we had agreed to keep it quiet. None of it happened. Within hours, word started spreading. Small towns are like that. By the next day, people were looking at me differently. Some with pity. Some with disgust. My dad told me I had ruined my future. He said if I was man enough to make a mistake, I needed to be man enough to take responsibility. I felt trapped inside someone else's nightmare. My mom cried constantly. My dad barely spoke to me except to lecture me about stepping up. He started talking about legal responsibility, child support, doing the right thing. I kept insisting on a DNA test. That's when things got strange. Every time I brought it up, Lily panicked. She would say I did not trust her, that I was trying to abandon her and the baby. My dad oddly supported her, saying stress was bad for pregnancy and we should handle this as a family. Handle what? A lie? The tension in my house became unbearable. My dad started sleeping on the couch some nights. I assumed it was because he was angry at me. Looking back, I see it differently. One afternoon, I went into my dad's home office to grab a charger. His laptop was open. A message notification popped up on the screen. It was from Lily. My stomach dropped. The preview read, "We can't keep lying to him forever." I froze. I know I should not have looked, but I did. I opened the conversation thread. Months of messages. Flirting, secret meetups, hotel receipts, promises, arguments. And then one message from my dad that made my hands shake. "If Nathan agrees to take responsibility, this will all go away." I could not breathe. The timeline matched. The dates matched. The party she claimed we hooked up at? My dad had driven her home that night. I felt like I was going to throw up. My own father. I confronted Lily first. I showed her screenshots. She broke down immediately. Not defensive. Not angry. Terrified. She admitted it. It had started during my senior year. My dad would give her rides, buy her small gifts, tell her she was mature for her age. She said she felt special at first. Then it became something she felt stuck in. When she found out she was pregnant, she panicked. My dad panicked harder. He convinced her that no one would believe her if she told the truth. He said it would destroy both families. He said I was young enough to recover. So they decided I would be the father. I felt something inside me break in a way that cannot be fixed. I confronted my dad that night. My mom was in the room. Lily came too. At first he denied everything, called the messages fake, said I was manipulating screenshots. Then Lily spoke. She told my mom everything. The silence that followed was heavier than any shouting match could have been. My mom looked at my dad like she was seeing a stranger. I think in that moment, we both were. The DNA test was done. It confirmed what I already knew. I was not the father. My dad was. The fallout was nuclear. Divorce. Criminal investigation. Community outrage. People who once praised him now crossed the street to avoid him. Lily moved away to live with relatives in another state. My mom and I stayed in the house for a while, before eventually moving too. The memories were too toxic. As for me, I carried a reputation I did not earn for months before the truth came out. Even after the DNA results, some people still whispered. Small towns never forget accusations. I lost friends. I lost trust. I lost the image of the father I thought I had. What hurts the most is not just the betrayal, it is that he was willing to sacrifice his own son to protect himself. I am 23 now. I have cut contact completely. I go to therapy. I am rebuilding my sense of reality piece by piece. Sometimes I still replay that moment in the living room. Lily pointing at me. My dad staring at me like I was guilty. If I had not opened that laptop, my entire life would have been rewritten by a lie. This is my confession. I was accused of becoming a father at 19, but the real father was the man who taught me how to ride a bike. And that is something I'm still trying to understand.